Welcome to Shadow Me Tarot. We are going to do a shadow reading today and how your shadow is influencing your life. I'm going to pick from the bag here because the hardest thing for me to decide is who am I doing a reading for. So Spirit is going to choose for me using these little rune stones, and I have picked out what looks like Taurus. Let's see here. All right, so that's this guy here, Mr. Taurus. And we'll go ahead and zoom back out. And so Taurus, you are getting the first shadow reading, and we are going to, there we go, we'll put our Taurus there, just kind of, Taurus, you are the I have symbol. And what does Taurus need to, what part of Taurus's shadow needs to be embraced to improve their feelings, life, or situation? So what part of shadow does Taurus need to embrace to improve feelings, life, or situation? What part of shadow does Taurus need to improve, or what part of shadow does Taurus need to embrace to improve their feelings, life, or situation? Okay, so this is the number 45. So if 4 or 5, or you've been seeing this number, or the number 9, if those are all important to you, it's definitely, certainly important to kind of take note of those things. I am using a few different decks today. I'll be using the Blind Spot Oracle cards, which is what we just pulled here. And we'll get clarity with the Gilded Reverie Lendermand, the Inner Compass deck, Intuitive Life Coaching, Visions of the Soul, and I will clarify with Tarot of the Human Experience and Revelations Tarot Companion. So that is just kind of, just so you know what they look like and how to find them sometimes. Okay, so for the blind spot here, which is your shadow side, this is what's influencing what's kind of going on in your life. And if we can kind of embrace this part of your shadow, you're going to improve your overall mood, general well-being, your feelings, your life, and your situation, right? So the first place to start with is changing your mind to change your life. So this card, and I think I'm going to zoom in here really quick, just to kind of, let's see, give you an opportunity to kind of look at that sigil and see what you see, and what it kind of means to you. Like, this kind of looks like, I don't know, a 3 backwards and upside down, maybe a broken umbrella. There looks like some swords here, or some gravestones and different dimensions. This could be a crystal ball. I mean, those are my first impressions. So this could be something that's draining. So in any case, number 45, the filter. If you have drawn the sigil, you are seeing the situation at hand through a filter, and you don't even know it. As a result, you are not seeing the situation clearly. All of us have a perspective. Perspectives are limited in that unless we are using a totally objective perspective, our perspective is subjective. An object will look different depending on what perspective you have of that object. Each perspective is a different angle on something. Our perspective shapes our experiences, and our experiences shape our perspective. We could look at objective perspective as an amalgamation of all subjective perspectives relative to something. A child will have a totally different perspective of the family home than the parent will. A doctor will have a totally different perspective about a medical crisis than a patient. You can imagine subjective perspective to be like looking through a single telescope, as if our subjective perspective were not limited enough. What makes this even more limited, and the view through it is less accurate, is that we also see the world from our limited perspective through filters. As if looking through a single telescope at the world isn't bad enough, the lens we are using has a filter on it. This distorts the reality of whatever we are looking at. We can recognize the limits of someone's perspective and see their filters. However, we have a very hard time recognizing the limits of our own perspective, and we have a very hard time recognizing our own filters. A filter is literally anything that shapes or distorts our perception of something. They can be thoughts passed down to us, information we are fed, beliefs we have been conditioned to adopt, ways the information is presented to us, experiences we have had, and meanings that we assign to each experience, just to name a few. We begin adopting filters for our telescopes even before we are born, and not only do they distort our capacity to see things clearly, to see what is real, they can also ruin our lives. For example, let's imagine at 3 years old a child is attacked by a dog. This will create a filter that dogs will attack them that could persist until adulthood. The rest of us who love dogs will tell you that this experience is not only rare, it's entirely avoidable if someone is actually doing the right thing with their dog. We have all kinds of other experiences that shape our perspective, that dogs are wonderful and much less dangerous than people. But the filter through which this person sees dogs can shape their entire life relative to dogs. They will see dogs in a totally inaccurate way. Or, for example, a child might have a super loving experience with her mother. As a result, she sees the universe through the lens that everything is there to support her. She may not even notice people who are not around her with her best interest in mind because of this filter through which she sees the world. Some of these filters are beneficial. Some of them are detrimental. Regardless of whether they are beneficial or detrimental, the thing to be aware of is that they are not necessarily accurate. They might just be totally distorting your capacity to see what is real. Every filter we adopt will change the way we see the world and the way we see ourselves. Every filter will shape our life experience, the things we think and say and do. There is nothing in this world more dangerous than a subjective perspective that is mistaken for objective perspective. There is nothing more dangerous than a filter that distorts our capacity to see what is real. If you've drawn this sigil, you have a filter that is distorting your capacity to see what is real. You are mistaking your distorted subjective perspective for objective perspective. Good grief. Question your perception and step outside your limited and highly individual perspective relative to this situation. Consider every other perspective you can relative to the situation at hand. All right, so based on this sigil, I want to know more about this filter or viewpoint that is distorting Taurus's capacity to see what's real. I want to see it in self first. So what is the filter in self that is distorting your capacity to see what is real? Thank you, beautiful spirit, for all of your guidance, love, and light. I'm truly grateful for all of your messages. What filter or viewpoint is disturbing your capacity to see what's real in self? All right. And what is the filter or viewpoint distorting your capacity to see what's real in your home or environment? What filter or viewpoint is distorting your capacity to see what's real? And we have the anchor. And what what will you gain, Taurus, by considering other viewpoints? What will you gain in the outcome? What will you gain by considering other viewpoints? What is the outcome of considering other viewpoints? Okay. So, and that is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. So in the self position, we have this choice card here. A decision to kind of be made. And I feel like maybe I just got to stay or to go. Maybe a choice as to where you want to travel, or in your home environment, you kind of feel anchored, stable, but maybe it's in your way, holding you back, tying you down from this choice. And this is the viewpoint that you're kind of bringing to your situation. And here in kind of like an outcome or advice position, Spirit is really kind of telling you this isn't an obstacle, it's a viewpoint. Let's get some clarity on some of this. You know what I want to use is this one. What Spirit, what advice do you have? And I'm using the Inner Compass Oracle now in terms of self and making this decision. What can Taurus do to what can Taurus do to see what's more real in self? What can Taurus do to kind of see what's more real with self in this decision that needs to be made? Thank you, beautiful Spirit, for all of your guidance. All right, here we go. And in the home, what does Taurus need to see is real? And in the outcome. Okay. So here we've got, you know, this decision that needs to be made. And we'll just read these cards here as to how they impacted this decision, whether in self, to have life, and it says meaning, to have a life full of meaning, to do meaningful things, to engage with ideas, experiences, and preoccupations that have serious, important, significant, or useful quality or purpose. And intuition, to live according to my intuition, my inner instinctive feeling, and to understand, know, or make a decision immediately without the need for mental reasoning. And I feel like you really want to, with this decision, that you feel like maybe you have to choose between home life and following your heart is kind of and I feel like I do feel like your home life somehow is holding you back from what you think is meaning, but if your intuition is telling you that there is a middle ground, a place that you can have both. You are quite skilled in managing and keeping maybe your family responsibilities. I'm still do that well, even though, I think that you're kind of coming from the viewpoint that it's an obstacle, and I don't think that it's an obstacle. I don't think that your home life is an obstacle to following your heart and finding a meaningful, joyful life. That's what Spirit wants, and you're skilled at that. You're skilled at managing your family, and it's okay to be ambitious and to kind of go after what you want. I think the right solution is just going to kind of come to you, but skill. To have the ability to do something and do it well, a developed aptitude, to have a particular ability or expertise, the learned power of using my knowledge effectively and readily in execution or performance so as to do something competently. And ambition here, so that these that you can kind of just like publicly announce. I feel like you need to tell your family. You feel like you need to skillfully tell your family about this new ambition that you really want to kind of take a chance on. I almost feel I feel like this is something that you're struggling with bringing up to them. Let's see. What can we do here? I want to know more. About this decision that is going to be meaningful to your life. Again, intuition. We've got the High Priestess here. You just kind of know instinctively that this is this living a life of meaning is what's important to you. You're going to need the support and love from another person in order to I feel like you are tied to a person, family, partner, and you're afraid that you're going to have to leave them behind to go after what you want, your dream. I really feel like it's your dream. I see you going after your ambition, but I don't think it has to be an all or nothing thing. What is a life without love? Is kind of what I'm getting. What is this skill? What do we mean here by home and skill and bringing the environment and self into alignment so that we're seeing the correct viewpoint? Sharing, yes, sharing your life with someone versus going. I feel like you've really kind of I feel like almost what you are really wanting is to share your life with another person, but you have like an idea of exactly what it is that you want to do. Tell me more about this ambition. Maybe this can be a shared passion between you and your partner. Or your person. This is happening in a relationship or at a job. I really am getting kind of a love reading here. So it's going to take some engineering, but sharing, working together, the way these even laid out, I feel like I really feel like this is a relationship. Like, do I follow my career and my skill and what I want to do? That is what's going to give meaning to my life. I just know it. I know I have to do this because it's giving me meaning. But I also know that I need love and support from my significant other in order to kind of do this. And I feel like your significant other also understands intuitively that you need to do this. And I feel like if you're sharing and communicating and you skillfully talk about this, that it doesn't have to be a burden, like being attached in this situation. I feel like if you kind of share, you'll be able to kind of publicly announce what your situation is, what you're going for. If it's in the public eye, maybe you're ready to kind of like come out and do what you make this choice of that's going to allow meaning into your life. And it looks like there's some engineering here. Kind of some planning and stuff that kind of needs to come into play. Spirit, can you give me some more guidance on this? Ambition. Maybe you are an engineer. Maybe you are looking to go public with your company. Maybe you're just starting a company and you need to do that. And maybe your partner has to share in it. But it's something to do with engineering. But it looks like it's ready to go into fruition. Can I get some more clarity on this engineering card? Thank you, beautiful spirit. So this is, this here is a new perspective here with just the Hanged Man. I really feel like you just need to have like a conversation at home and share each other's concerns. I think that you're going to have to, you're going to be able to work together to make this work, but it is going to be a sacrifice. And you know that the short-term sacrifice is going to become, long-term opportunities. So let's kind of get some guidance on what we can do for ourselves. in terms of healing for this particular situation, and healing maybe some of these shadow filters that are not aligning with the truth, right? Like we have this filter that we're not seeing reality. So how do we kind of see the reality of this life decision that's kind of right here? All right, we've got 3 cards that popped out. This one is energy healer. And I am getting kind of like a root chakra kind of energy, kind of misalignment here, like something in your foundation isn't quite aligning with how you're making this decision, like something maybe from your own inner child is, and your reaction, you know, how you lead your life based on some story you tell yourself from when you were a kid, which is something we all do. You know, it's our job to kind of uncover it. But we have the energy healer here. We have the parting ways and the perception for just this column here. So the energy healer, it says your natural ability to heal yourself and others is needed right now. And this is the kind of thing that kind of adds meaning to our lives, right? Even when they're more difficult. Parting ways. It may be time to move on from this person or situation, and maybe you both are intuiting that that's kind of what needs to happen. But I do feel like this is a meaningful partnership. I do feel like this is a meaningful partnership, and maybe you're considering that it's time to move on from this person. But I do believe, see, in the next one, the party's in your mind. Do you know what I'm saying? If you can't see past the solution, the next part is to bring the other people involved in, right? You got to share this with your partner. So it's your perception right here, right? Your perception is that the only option is to, do the best to heal yourself and your partner. But, you have to kind of follow this purpose, your life purpose. But you might be open to have a shift in your perception. Maybe it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Maybe there's a way to kind of make this kind of work. And I think what the person in your life might be kind of saying in terms of what you need to heal. This just fell out, so we're just going to read all of these. Oh my gosh. Okay. This person is a hidden treasure. It looks like you have support at home. You have brilliant untapped potential just waiting to be explored. You need to educate yourself a little bit more about what's kind of going on in this situation, and more knowledge is going to give you, it's going to allow you to kind of tap into that Akashic record to find the solution. You just ask the universe, what is it that I need to do in order to make this situation where I can have the best of both worlds, and let it go. And the answer will kind of come to you. And here it is, heavenly helpers. You share this with your partner. Both of you are putting out the same vibration into the universe that you want this to work. And heavenly helpers are your spiritual team is guiding you through this difficult situation. So sharing your emotions and your thoughts with the people closest to us sometimes is the hardest thing to do. But it's so important that we get to see other people's perspective, and they're going to give you, like a little golden nugget when you take to them. They're going to educate you on their side and how they see things. And then divinely, I feel like there's something kind of heavenly helpers, and from source, I feel like divinely the answers are going to come together, in sharing your desires are going to manifest, a workable solution. But it is going to require a sacrifice. But I feel like, I think that if you really want to, this can move forward. All right, so what is the advice in overcoming the shadow of seeing the reality of things? So people will help you kind of keep this together. If you want to do it, you really need to just kind of get new information from your person. I feel like you just need to have a discussion, that you're just too much in your head, and you don't have anybody else's perspective. So the outcome is generosity. Giving from your heart with no strings attached is what is needed now. And it feels like this is a true test of love if this is like a twin flame kind of thing. This is the stuff that makes you or breaks you. And you're both going to need to be generous with your love and your hearts, and to kind of make it work. All right, so what is the overall message and guidance from Spirit for this particular reading? So thank you, beautiful Spirit, for all of your guidance, love, and light. I'm truly grateful for all of your messages. What advice do you have for Taurus to what advice do you have for Taurus to see what's real? What can they let go of in their filter to see what's real? Okay. So what we have here, I see, okay. So here I see blue automatically, throat chakra for me. Wow. I mean, this is just kind of perpetual motion. You got to talk about what it is that you need and want, and you need to kind of tap into the ether to kind of get the messages. I really feel like this is very difficult for you to talk about. I just really do feel like, but I think you can lean on Source and God and the universe, has your back. I think you can lean on your spirituality, your higher power, to kind of give you the words that you need to really get what you want, because I think there's some things that need to be shared that will be a pleasant surprise. I think it'll put your mind at ease. So for number 38 here, it says, since we got them both, I got the last two cards of the deck, almost the last two cards of the deck. So here it says it says transmutation, change, alchemy, perpetual movement, cosmic flow. Use this portal for movement, growth, and change when you are stuck or need to be shown a different perspective. It is a portal to parallel universes. So very much this is saying, shift your perspective. What if this was a parallel universe? What if this opportunity wasn't there? What if a different opportunity was there? What if this, do you know what I'm saying? Go through the what ifs, I guess. But it says your declaration of intent. So if you kind of really want to meditate on this, you can say, I am in constant flow with the ever-expanding cosmos of Source. Love carries me through all experiences. So I'm going to repeat that. I am in constant flow with the ever-expanding cosmos of Source. Love carries me through all experiences. I do feel like this is a test in vulnerability for you. And I think it's okay for you to ask for what you need and continue that communication. I think it's really, really important for what you're going through right now. So I feel like, go with the flow without trying to judge your situations based on your past experiences, because your viewpoints are distorting the reality of your situation. You are growing, changing, and evolving every second, and you are the catalyst for this change. You can choose to stagnate, go against the flow, or flow with the universe in these changing times. It's your choice. When you are not flowing with the universe, you will know it. Life will be a constant drag, an endless fight. Don't mistake challenges for not being in the flow with the universe. At times, you are given challenges to push you to dig deeper, to expand yourself more. Use this card as a tool to guide you in moving your life in the direction where constant flow and change occur harmoniously and with synchronicity. When your life is flowing in alignment with your soul purpose, you will be uplifted and supported energetically. Recognize the phases of movement and flow in your life and learn to harness these for spiritual growth. And then for the intergalactic communication, again, this is another parallel universes, cosmic beings, alternate worlds, multiverses. Use this portal to communicate with cosmic beings and travel to alternate worlds. Declaration of intent: for the highest good of all, I am in sacred communication with the cosmos. And to me, that's tapping into the Akashic record, listening to your intuition, and asking Source or God or praying for the answer to just come to you, and know that it will. Just believe that it will. And I really feel like I think your person will kind of will be a big part in doing this as well. When working with this card, absolute, crystal clear intent must be set through unconditional love for the highest good of all. Many beings have come to assist humanity at this time, yet not all have the best intentions. Using the Metatron card when working with this portal brings a protective energy. Multiple worlds and universe exist in the cosmos. A great diversity of galactic beings reside in these worlds. You may request communication with them for the highest good of all life in the cosmos. Many of these beings are of ancestral lineage of those on Earth. Sacred connections through this portal will give rise to deeper understanding of yourself, where you come from, where you are moving towards, and the multiplicity of life in the cosmos. Alternative lives you may have had in other worlds can be revealed to you through this portal. So I feel like this might even be like a karmic lesson, like something that you're fine-tuning and honing over lifetimes, throughout your lifetime now, throughout this lifetime. I do feel like, speaking your truth and I think very much speaking your truth and praying and working with your intuition and together kind of praying for the outcome that you need and you want. All right, so that is your reading to embrace your shadow side, Taurus. If you liked my video, please like, subscribe, and share. It is really how I grow this channel. So I appreciate you all so much for watching. You have a beautiful, blessed day.